Okay, welcome to Front and Center here on Radio Pilipinas World Service with me, Jerome Toledo, as we focus on developments in the Philippines, legislation that provides policies and directions that strives to promote a better economy for the country, issues that concern the welfare and well-being of every Filipino. All of these and more will be Front and Center. You can watch this program live on our Facebook page. That's Radio Pilipinas World Service. You can also hear us live on audio streaming at Evox PBS receiver app. So join us for another edition of Front and Center with your host, Jerome Toledo. And this morning, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has announced the chairperson of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure. So that's the former Supreme Court Justice Andres B. Reyes Jr. And for the profile of the chairperson, so that's former Justice Andres or Andy Reyes, as he called. Justice Andres Reyes Jr. is the youngest child of the former late Justice of the Supreme Court Andres C. Reyes Sr. and also Minerva Bernal. And the late Justice, and the Andy Reyes is the father of the late Justice Andres C. Reyes Sr., the former presiding justice of the Court of Appeals. Meanwhile, former Justice Andres Jr. is a third generation of justice in the Reyes family, as the profile says. His grandfather being Alex Reyes Sr., himself a justice of the Court of Appeals and later of the Supreme Court. And the said profile, Justice Andres Jr. has been a green archer from grade school all the way to college, first attending the La Salle Green Hills and the De La Salle University thereafter. And former Justice Reyes continued his tertiary education at St. Mary's College of California, obtaining the degree of Bachelor of Science in Economics. And then he took up his law studies at the Ateneo de Manila University, where he became a member of the Fraternal Order of Utopia. And in 2002, he earned a master's degree in public administration from the Philippine Women's University. And as a career judicial officer, Justice Andres was a trial judge from 1987 until 1999, when he, following his father's and grandfather's footsteps, was appointed Associate Justice of the the Court of Appeals. On February 10, 2010, he was appointed Presiding Justice of the same court, which is the Court of Appeals. And the Reyeses hold the singular distinction of having a justice in the family for 3 consecutive generations, including the two presiding justices of the second highest court in the land. And while the former Supreme Court Justice Andres Reyes was appointed this morning as the chairperson of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure. So we have 3 more members of the commission here that was announced over the weekend. So they're now complete. So it's a 4-man commission now. So President Marcos Jr. has appointed the 2 members of the newly formed Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or ICI, which is tasked to investigate corruption in flood control projects over the past decade, citing their proven competence and integrity. President Marcos Jr. appointed former Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH Secretary Rogelio Singson, and SGV and Co. Country Managing Partner Rosana Fajardo as the 2 commission members, according to a announcement from Malacanang last Saturday. Hold on. And the president also named Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong as special advisor who will act as an investigator of the commission. And Castro said Singson was picked up due to his decades of direct experience in both the planning and execution of major government infrastructure projects, having served as head of the DPWH from 2010 to 2016 and the Bases Conversion and Development Authority from 1998 to 2002 or 2002. Sorry, 2002. So that's the profile of one of the members, which is a former DPWH Secretary Rogelio Babe Singson. Meanwhile, Fajardo, a certified public accountant or CPA, has over 3 decades of experience in auditing internal controls and risk management, especially in identifying weaknesses in financial system and operational processes. So I'm talking about the SGV country managing partner Rosana Fajardo, and the Palace press officer said Fajardo was or has worked across both public and private sectors, and which is to help organizations detect fraud, strengthen governance, and build more accountable institutions. And Fajardo currently serves as the country managing partner of SGV and Co. And that's the Philippines professional services firm or accounting firm. And meanwhile, among Singson and Fajardo, Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong will hold as a special advisor of the said commission of or the ICI. And Mayor Magalong has handled sensitive, high-impact investigations and help lead institutional reforms in law enforcement, having served as Deputy Director General of the Philippine National Police and former Director of the PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. So this four-man commission set up by the President, so is now will constitute 2 members from the private sector. That's Rosana Fajardo and the former secretary of the DPWH, and also one of the officials of the Metro Pacific Investment Corporation. So that's Rogelio Singson now, and also the special advisor, which is Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong, will help the commission to run after contractors and government officials involved in this anomalous flood control projects. And in the meantime, so we will have to play the press conference or the presidential address of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. that was conducted several minutes ago. So let's hear one more time from the president regarding the appointment of the chairperson, the former Supreme Court Justice Andres Reyes Jr. Let's listen in.
Mula sa Presidential Communications Office at Radyo Pilipinas, ito ang Presidential Live Event. Presidential Live Event.
Good morning, everyone. I asked to speak to all of you today so that I could bring you up to date and report to the people about what has been happening concerning the ICI. At maraming tanong. The ICI, we've come to call it the ICI because it is the Independent Commission on Infrastructure. And that is the independent commission that we are organizing. And as of yesterday, this is the way the commission is going to be organized. Justice Andy Reyes will be the chairperson of the ICI. He was a presiding judge of the Court of Appeals before. He has been a jurist for a very, very long time with a very good record of honesty and fairness, and a good record of being able to find justice for those who have been victimized. And together with him are, of course, Babe Singson, who I think is familiar to everyone, as the former DPWH secretary, But beyond that, he has always been working in terms of the infrastructure. And as as a former DPWH secretary, he has a good idea of, shall we say, where the bodies are buried. So that will give us immediately a advantage when we're doing this, when not we, when the commission is doing its investigation. And of course, the last member is Rosana Fajardo, who is the country managing partner of SGV and Co. She is a certified public accountant, and she has, again, with her experience, and we are hoping to take advantage also with some of the experts that they have in SGV in terms of accounting, forensic accounting, all of these things that will be necessary. We have included Mayor Benji Magalong as a special advisor as well. There have been questions as to why Mayor Benji has been included. And the answer is very simple. When I went to Baguio, tinignan ko yung mga malabo na flood control project, ay sinalubong niya kaagad ako ng isang report. Investigador naman talaga si Mayor Benji. Kung maalala ninyo, he was the one who wrote, as CIDG head, he was the one who wrote the seminal report on the Mama Sapano incident. And that was immediately, that gave me, that's when I came to know of him and saw that he has integrity. And then again, when I went to Baguio, meron na siyang, being a good investigator, he had a very, very detailed, very good report already. So he's been working on this for a while. So marami siyang mako-contribute. So what are the commission's powers? Well, there was a there was a discussion, of course, as to what were the powers to be granted to the commission. And the debate centered around whether they will have subpoena powers, and they can also hold people in contempt. Well, upon discussion, we felt clearly that the subpoena powers were necessary. However, the contempt powers, the power to hold people in contempt, I think was not necessary, simply because this is not a prosecutorial body, this is an investigative body. So what the commission will do is that they will investigate. They will call people in. They will subpoena records. They will conduct hearings. And once they have their findings, they will forward those findings to the proper agency. Should it be the Ombudsman? Should it be the DOJ? If it's an administrative case of government employees, Civil Service Commission, and all of the proper agencies, doon lang sila magrekomenda. And if such personalities continue to avoid or not cooperate with the Ombudsman or the DOJ, dun sila mako-contempt. So we do not lose that power or capability to hold people in contempt should they not cooperate, should they not respect subpoenas, etc. So yun na ngayon ang ating sitwasyon. We are I'm very encouraged because nung nakausap ko sila, all of them are in agreement that we have to move very quickly. And we have to get something done as quickly as possible. Hindi pwedeng mapanis lahat nitong information na binigay ng taong bayan doon sa isumbong mo sa Pangulo. Kaya sabi namin, bilisan na lang talaga ninyo. And that's why they have to meet as often as possible. That is for them to decide. They have already decided to meet today to make the organizational decisions that need to be made, i.e., how the Secretariat is going to be organized, what sort of people they need to bring that, where their offices will be, kahit yung mga forms na gagawin para para doon sa commission. They have to set that. And when asked, when asked how often you plan on meeting, ang sagot sa akin, araw-araw. They will meet every day. And either privately or they will hold some, I don't know if they plan to hold hearings in public. It's all up to them. What I want to stress here is that the independent nature of this commission. Hindi kami makikialam sa trabaho nila. We will of course be in discussion with them. We will ask them, ano nangyari, what have you found, what are we doing next, etc. But we're not about to direct them as to how they are going to conduct their investigations. And we are going to leave it up to them. As a matter of fact, in our discussions with them, they also said, may we make suggestions, may we make proposals so as to the procedure for bidding, for all these contracts, para hindi na maulit ito. And we, of course, I said, we're perfectly open to that. What we really want is to fix the system. I was very encouraged because in my meetings with Justice Andy yesterday, sabi niya, this has to be, we have to make it nothing less than a turning point in the conduct of governance in the Philippines. We have to make a change. And it is a fundamental change in the way that we do business. There also have been questions as to why the scope of the investigation is over 10 years, or the last 10 years rather. The answer is twofold. The practical answer is this: COA is only required to keep records for 10 years. So those are the records that we know we have, na nakakasiguro tayo na matulungan yun. Pangalawa doon, kaya't we'll do it for as long as possible dahil marami na tayong napag-usapan at isa sa napakahalaga para sa akin, malaman paano tayo napunta sa ganito. Ba't nagkaganito yung gobyerno natin? Paano nangyari ganito yung naging bidding? Paano nangyari na ganito ang naging pagbigay ng kontrata? How did this evolve? Dahil nung sa experience ko sa local governments, experience ko sa legislature, hindi naman ganito. Ngayon lang, we have to find out how this happened and what are the changes that we need to make so that we make this into an inflection point in terms of how government does its business, and to make sure that the funds that belong to the people are well spent and properly spent to the advantage of all of us, to the advantage of the economy, to the advantage of those who are in danger areas. So that is why the 10-year period, those are the two reasons basically why the 10-year period was specified. To go further, we are actually now, since we have canceled all flood control projects for 2026, those savings, we already put a menu. Kaya para nga, unang-una, kahit na for the budget na sinusulat ngayon, kailangan na maliwanag na mapupunta sa tamang lugar. And so we have made a menu for our legislators to follow and say that all insertions, all changes made can only be made to the benefit of these agencies here. We'll give you this. You can take a picture now, but we will give you a proper image. And they basically cover education, agriculture, health, housing, infra, ICT, labor, social, energy. Pero ibang nature nito. So that is the first step that we are taking. The other step that I was a little surprised to find out was that kapag tinanggal na yung rule na dati na kapag may project ang national government sa isang LGU, pag tapos na yung project, kailangan i-accept nung mayor, kailangan i-accept ng governor. Kati barangay captain, kailangan tatanggapin niya, titignan nila. And this is an important safeguard. Dahil, pagka nasa LGU ka, hindi mo naman pinagkikitaan yung project. Kaya, ang maliwanag, titignan to talaga na tama, na yung kalsada, 8 inches talaga yung konkreto. Pagka may asphalt overlay, makapal talaga yung asphalt overlay. Yung flood control, lahat yan. And so, I have instructed the DPWH, and for that matter, all of the departments to return that. Tinanggal in the last administration yan yung acceptance. Alala ko nung governor ako, walang natatapos na, walang pwedeng sabihin completed kung hindi accepted ng local government. Babalik natin yun. Tinanggal nila in the last administration. We are putting it back because that is one of the best safeguards that we have. So that is essentially the situation as it stands. We are trying to move as quickly as possible. In the meantime, of course, our attention continues to be directed to the work of government, that the infrastructure development continues, that our education program continues, that our social programs also continue na walang patid. As a matter of fact, we are accelerating them and increasing them. So that's generally the situation. But so now I'll open the floor for questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President. The first question will come from Kat Domingo of ABS-CBN.
All right. And you just heard the part of the presidential address of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as the appointed and named man of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure. So, which is led by its chairperson, former Supreme Court Justice Andres Reyes Jr. and the two members of the commission headed by former DPWH or Department of Public Works and Highway Secretary Rogelio Babe Singson, and one of the members is also the country managing partner of the SGV, that's Rosana Fajardo, and also Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalang was appointed as its special advisor of that commission. And just to sum up of what President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has said during the press conference, the Executive Order 94, which established the Independent Commission on Infrastructure rather, is aimed at combating corruption in the country's infrastructure projects. Under the executive order, it is providing the following provisions. So I'll said this in 5 parts. So first one is the creation of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure. So that executive order establishes a new independent body called the Independent Commission for Infrastructure. So that 4-member commission is tasked with investigating anomalies and misuse of funds in government infrastructure projects. And the second part is the broad mandate of the commission. And while the initial focus is on investigating alleged corruption in flood control projects, the commission's mandate is extensive. So it is authorized to investigate all other public works projects, and also with a priority on those implemented within the last 10 years. So that spans 3 administrations. So if we're going to talk about the expanse of the investigation, so from 10 years, so that's a 3 presidency that has that will cover under that mandate. And also on the third part, it has a wide-ranging powers of the ICI, or the ICI has been granted broad powers to carry out its function. So this includes, number 1, conduct hearings and subpoena witnesses and file administrative charges. Conduct hearings and subpoena witnesses and documents. And second, that's what I'm talking about the recommendation of filing of criminal, civil, and administrative charges. And third, power of the ICI is to request assistance and cooperation from various government agencies such as particularly the law enforcement agencies such as the Department of Justice, the National Bureau of Investigation, and the Philippine National Police, and some other relevant government agencies. So I think the anti-money laundering council will be involved in this from this cooperation with the ICI. And the fourth power of the ICI is to recommend and request asset freezes, hold departure orders, or preventive suspensions of officials under investigation. So if we talk about the hold departure order, so Bureau of Immigration will be involved in this in the cooperation with the ICI, as well as the AMLAC, or the Anti-Money Laundering Council, because the ICI will recommend or request asset freezes and also preventive suspensions of officials under investigation. So that's going to be the role of the ombudsman. So there will be a cooperation and collaboration with those agencies. And the fifth one is the recommend the admission of individuals into the witness protection program. And also on the fourth part, the accountability part, the executive order will hold government officials and personnel accountable for their cooperation in the anomaly. And any official who delays or refuses to comply with subpoena from the commission without adequate cause may face a disciplinary and criminal liability. So that's what President has said. So they once this investigation that will be conducted by the independent commission will start, so and once those charges, or once the anomaly has been proven true, so they will be facing disciplinary and criminal liability, like imprisonment, and also barring from serving, or barring from partaking into civil service, and to run from public office. So that's gonna be I think that's gonna be a perpetual disqualification from civil service work, or run from public office. And the last one, the purpose of this Executive Order 94, which is to say. By the way, the ICI, the ICI was created in response to a widespread concerns about corruption in infrastructure, particularly in the flood control projects, which President Marcos Jr. has exposed during his last State of the Nation address, which has been flagged for being non-existent, substandard, or incomplete, and non-existent. Despite the receiving significant funding. And President Marcos Jr. has stated that the administration is committed to maintaining honesty and integrity in public service and will take decisive measures to hold corrupt individuals accountable. And President Marcos Jr. Expressed or wants to start the investigation on the anomalous flood control projects to start as soon as possible. So the public is being advised now to watch developments, as the ICI has already in effect, and we have named 4 members of that commission. So the public will now will have to watch out for the developments regarding this, and the public should watch if a separate investigation that will be conducted by the Senate and House of Representatives will continue, or they will be, or the hearings will adjourn, and they will give way for the investigation that will be conducted by the ICI or by the ICI. So exciting developments, and as we are now chasing for accountability and transparency regarding these anomalous flood control projects. And with that, we now conclude this edition of Front and Center here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Together with our production team and technical personnel, this is your host, Jerome Toledo. Until next time, mabuhay.